The worst part about being teased was riding the school bus on those mornings when Byron and Buckhead decided they were going to skip school. We'd be standing on the corner waiting for the bus. Byron, Buckhead, and all the other older thugs in one bunch. Larry Dunn, Banky, and all the other young thugs in another bunch. The regular kids like Joetta in a third bunch, and me off to the side by myself. When we saw the bus about 3 blocks away, we all got in a line. Old thugs, young thugs, regular kids, then me. It wasn't until the bus stopped and the door opened that I knew whether Bi and Buckhead were going. I hated it when Bi walked past and said, "Give my regards to Clark Poindexter." Some of the time, those words were like a signal for the other kids to jump on me. But the day I stopped hating the bus so much began with those same words. We were all lined up. "Give my regards to Clark Poindexter," Bi said and disappeared around the bus's back. I got on the bus, took the seat, right behind the driver. The days Bi rode, I would sit a few rows from him in the back. On other days, the driver was the most protection. The bus drove down into public housing, and after everyone was picked up, we headed toward Clark. But today, the bus driver did something he'd never done before. He noticed 2 kids running up late, and he stopped to let them get on. Every other time someone was late, he'd just laugh at them and tell the rest of us, "This is the only way you little punks is going to learn to be punctual. I hope that fool has a pleasant walk to school." Then no matter how hard the late kid banged on the side of the bus, the driver would just take off, laughing out of the window. That was part of one of my miracles that they let me know something special was going to happen. As soon as the doors of the bus swung up and 2 strange new boys got on, part 2 of the miracle happened. Every once in a while, Mama would make me go to Sunday school with Joey. Even though it was just a bunch of singing and coloring books and listening to Mrs. Davidson, I had learned one thing. I learned about getting saved. I learned how someone could come to you when you were feeling real bad and could take all of your problems away and make you feel better. I learned that the person who saved you, your personal savior, was sent by God to protect you and to help you out. When the bigger one of the 2 boys who got on the bus late said to the driver in a real down south accent, "Thank you for stopping, sir," I knew right away. I knew that God had finally gotten sick of me being teased and picked on all the time. As I looked at this new boy with a great big smile, and the jacket with holes in the sleeves, and the raggedy tennis shoes, and the tore-up blue jeans, I knew who he was. Maybe he didn't live a million years ago, and maybe he didn't have a beard and long hair, and maybe he wasn't born under a star. But I knew anyway. I knew God had finally sent some help. I knew God had finally sent me my personal savior. As soon as the boy thanked the driver in that real polite, real country way, I jerked around in my seat to see what the other kids were going to do to him. Whenever someone new started coming to Clark, most of the kids took some time to see what he was like. The boys would see if he was tough or weak, if he was cool or a square, and the girls would look to see if he was cute or ugly. Then they decided how to treat him. I knew they weren't going to waste any time with this new guy. It was going to be real easy and real quick with him. He was like nobody we'd seen before. He was raggedy, he was country, he was skinny, and he was smiling at everybody a mile a minute. The boy with him had to be his little brother. He looked like a shrunk-up version of the big one. Everyone had stopped what they were doing and were real quiet. Some were standing up to get a better look. The older one got an even bigger smile on his face and waved real hard at everybody. The little shrunk up of him smiled and did the same thing. Then they said, "Hi, y'all!" And I knew that here was someone who was going to be easier for the kids to make fun of than me. Most of the kids were just staring. Then Larry Dunn said, "Lord, today look at the nappy-headed down-home country cornflake the cat drone drugged up from Mississippi, y'all." About a million fingers pointed at the new kids and a million laughs almost knocked them over. Larry Dunn threw an apple core from the back of the bus and the new kid got his hand up just in time to block it from hitting him in the face. Little bits of apple exploded all over the kid and his brother and me. The other kids went wild, laughing and saying to each other, "Hi, y'all! Hi, y'all!" The bus driver jumped out of his seat and stood between the new kid and Larry Dunn. You see? You see how you kids is? This boy shows some manners and some respect, and y'all want to attack him. That's why none of y'all ever gonna be nothing." The bus driver was really mad. "Larry Dunn, you better sit your ass down and cut this mess out." I know you don't want to start panning on folks, do you? Not with what I know about your mama." Someone said, "Oh!" Larry sat down. The bus was real quiet. We'd never seen the driver get this mad before. He pushed the two new kids into the same seat as me and told them, "Don't you pay no mind to them little fools. They ain't less they dragging someone down." Then he had to add, "Y'all just sit next to Poindexter. He don't bother no one." I sat there and looked at them sideways. I didn't say anything to them. They didn't say anything to me. But I was kind of surprised that God would send a savior to me in such raggedy clothes.